Here's how I hit Ascendant as an Astra main. In order to do this, I stuck to 4 key principles that allowed me to get out of Diamond and into Ascendant: consistency, focus practice, review, and mindset. Tapping into these 4 things can help you improve in pretty much any rank. However, when you add a notoriously difficult to play agent like Astra into the mix, it may add a layer of difficulty to the equation. In solo queue specifically, Astra requires a higher degree of team play and coordination, making her abilities slightly less valuable than other controllers like Omen's Blind or Brim's Stim Beacon, for example. Using Omen's Blind is relatively straightforward, covers a large area, and is used directly from Omen, which teammates can easily capitalize on without you even having to communicate. On the other hand, Astra has more flexibility with her utility, but having teammates play off of that utility can be challenging and highlights the issue with using her in solo queue. If you don't tell your teammates that you're using your grav well or concuss in a particular position, they probably won't play off of them. When I started maining Astra consistently in gold, I noticed these downsides and felt like the only utility I got any value from were my smokes and ults with the occasional gravity well to pull the diffuser off. This made things a bit harder, so I temporarily switched to Omen and Viper on the maps where she's essentially mandatory. I quickly got through Platinum, but once I hit Diamond, it was time to give Astra a try again since my teammates started to play a bit more coordinated. Emphasis on a bit. I still struggled to get decent value from her kit, but I improved significantly as a player and my comfort with Astra continued to increase. In this video, we'll take a look at the 4 principles I leveraged to reach Ascendant with Astra and how you can follow these concepts to reach that green rank yourself. I'm chill and let's get into it. If you're interested in free VOD reviews, check out my Discord in the description below. These will be done live on my stream every Friday. Just make sure to read the rules and requirements before submitting your VOD. All right, back to the video. Let's talk about the first principle, which is arguably the most important: consistency. You've probably heard this a million times from other coaches or Valorant guides, but consistency really is something that elevates all aspects of your improvement as a player. This not only means being consistent in terms of ranked games played per week, but the agent or role you play, aim training, mechanics training, VOD review, etc. So what would a normal week of this look like? This may look different for you, but it may give you an idea of what a consistent week looks like when you're trying to improve as a player. On Monday, I typically play 2 ranked matches after warming up for 10 to 15 minutes in deathmatch and TDM. After those games, I may play some unrated with my wife and a couple of friends, and then finish the night with some aim training and aim labs. I typically do a voltaic Valorant playlist which works on Valorant specific fundamentals of aiming. These run for about 30 minutes or so. Tuesday looks similar to Monday, but maybe instead of finishing with aim labs, I'll work on some mechanics training in the practice range and DM for 30 minutes. Wednesdays I may actually take off since I don't get home from work until about 6, followed by weekly soccer games I play in with other 30-year-old friends. Don't underestimate the power of taking breaks from gaming and touching some grass. On Thursdays, I have a lot more time, but since I use this free time to work on a video like this one, it'll look similar to Monday and Tuesday with 2 ranked games, some unrated, and maybe some more aim training afterwards. On Fridays, I do free VOD reviews for anyone that wants, and sometimes I'll use these days to VOD review my own games from earlier in the week as well. We'll talk about this process more in a bit. I'll follow this with another couple ranked games, and then I'm done for the night and either play other games with friends or more unrated and in-houses with a bigger group for fun. Now, the weekends are where I have the most time to dedicate to ranked, so I usually try to fit in 2 or 3 games on Saturday and Sunday with some more aim training and mechanics training afterwards. This schedule works for me, and although I only play a few games throughout the week, I'm still able to climb in a relatively reasonable time frame. Since I only play 1 to 3 ranked games on days I have time, I make sure I'm properly warmed up and go in with high energy and focus to ensure I'm always playing at my best. I could play 3 to 5 games on the weekends, but if I play more than 3 games in one sitting, my performance starts to suffer a bit due to mental fatigue. Autopiloting your way through a million ranked games every day is an easy way to burn yourself out and hit a wall. Sure, your favorite streamer or pro can do it, but that's because it's their full-time job, which they've developed the stamina for over years of practice. If you paid attention, some pros have recently had to take breaks due to burnout. All right, let's move on to the next principle: Focused practice. I touched on this before, but what exactly is focused practice? I actually found a great explanation of this concept on the violinist subreddit. Although this person talks about practicing violin, the ideas remain the same for any skill. Focused practice means being attentive and intentional with the skill you're trying to learn. It's essentially the opposite of going through the motions or practicing on autopilot. When you aim train, for example, it's easy to just mindlessly click the dots on the screen. Actively pushing your scores and practicing good technique is what leads to improvement. Narrowing your focus towards specific areas each time, rather than always using a broad perspective of playing. Focused practice is looking for weaknesses in your gameplay, focusing on them, and improving them. For example, if I struggle with my movement, I would go into the practice range and work on my strafing and shooting using some kind of drill with the bots. Then I may go into a deathmatch and focus specifically on my strafing technique. Identify a weakness, isolate that skill, and practice improving it by breaking it down into smaller parts while being intentional and attentive with your practice. Next up, we have review. When learning how to improve with Astra, I'd first VOD review a game I played recently and spot points during the game where I felt confused, uncomfortable, or made a mistake. Then I'd find a pro Astra VOD on YouTube, try to find a similar looking round to the one I struggled in, and see how the pro played it differently. Sometimes it was my smoke placement or timing of my gravity well, and sometimes I'd see that I played it completely wrong to how the pro would and make a note of it. I got a lot of great ideas from guys like Nats, Xander, and Bang. I saw how they set up on eco and full buy rounds, communicated and made plans with their teammates, and how they approached attack and defense. It's always better to replicate before you innovate, meaning you should emulate what works best instead of inventing your own setups and strategies. The pros are using Astra in a specific way, so if I want to be at that level, I should pretty much use what they're doing instead of coming up with my own ideas. Finally, we get to one of the harder principles to follow: mindset. Having the right mindset is a big part of the picture when it comes to improving as a player. If you've seen some of my other guides, I talk about this concept of being process versus results oriented. If you want to learn more, you can check out that video in the top right. Getting into the mindset of being process oriented can help you focus on what's important during a match rather than getting stuck on the results. If you're focused too much on the score of the game or a kill that happened, or maybe one of your teammates yapping about something your team isn't doing right, it'll be harder to focus on what you need to be thinking about during the game. It can be difficult to filter out the noise and focus on what you need to do during the round sometimes, but practicing this can improve your mindset over time. This is another reason I suggest only doing 2 to 3 high quality games per day. Playing more may result in higher levels of tilt and may prevent you from having the right mindset while playing. Also, the fewer games you play, the more time you'll have for things like VOD review and aim training. As an Astra player, I really need to dial in and focus on where my utility should be played before and during the round, while also reading the enemy team to predict what they'll do in the upcoming rounds. I can't afford to autopilot, or I'll potentially throw the round for my team. Don't get me wrong, changing your perspective to being more process versus results oriented is not easy and can take time to develop. Preparing yourself for your ranked matches by having a pre-game routine can help you get into the right mindset. Like I said earlier, it takes time to develop this mindset, and changing your perspective on failure is not easy. However, if you continue to focus on the process, practice patience in game, and reflect, you can improve your mindset like any other skill. Here are some of the things that I do to prepare for ranked matches, and maybe they can help you too. This first one is definitely optional, but recently I've gotten back into meditation to calm my mind and reduce stress going into a ranked session. Meditation has definitely helped reduce stress in my day-to-day, so it may be worth looking into if you feel you get easily stressed or frustrated while playing. Next, I'll play some music while warming up in DM, strictly focusing on getting my mechanics dialed in. TDM may also be a good option to get used to using abilities and your preferred pistol, eco, and full buy weapons. Once I'm in game, I usually greet my team with a positive attitude to set the tone. You'd be surprised how impactful starting off on the right foot with your teammates can be. I'll then inspect my team comp to think about what utility we can use for pistol round, where the enemies may play based on their team comp, and prepare my utility accordingly. Finally, I'll make a quick pre-round plan with my team so we have some kind of direction going into pistol. If a round goes poorly, I may react to it negatively or blame teammates here and there, but as long as I'm not expressing that negativity and comms and can quickly reset for next round, I can continue playing well. If something really frustrates you or causes physical symptoms, like losing a clutch round for example, I'll take a few deep breaths before the next round starts to calm my nerves. On the topic of toxic teammates, this is probably what takes most people out of the game the most in terms of mindset. So what I'll do is if a teammate isn't providing comms or arguing with another teammate, I'll just mute them and continue to calm and play normally. If they're not providing valuable comms to you during the round, then there's no reason to listen to them and allow them to take you out of your game mentally. There are definitely horrible things that have been said in comms, and sometimes before you can do anything, the damage is already done, but this is something Riot seems to understand and is making a priority to improve. As of now, muting is the best solution. Once a game has concluded, I like to reflect a bit and think about any obvious mistakes or improvements I can make, regardless if it was a win or a loss. If I'm still tilted or upset from the game, I'll wait a bit before queuing up another so I can reset and go into the next game with a fresh mindset. A good way to think about your ranked games is that it's an opportunity to learn, especially when you lose. Having that growth or process-oriented mindset allows you to adapt and see challenges and setbacks as a chance to grow. There are some days where you might just not be feeling crisp or you're not really in the mood for ranked. On days like this, it may be best to take a break or play another game, or maybe have some fun with friends and play some unrated or escalation. Ranked isn't going anywhere, and there's always tomorrow. It took me nearly 4 years to go from gold to ascendant. During this time, I consistently played the game, improved, had slumps, quick increases in rank, and was hard stuck. I make videos, have a full-time job, touch grass occasionally, and spend about half my time in Valorant split between ranked and unrated with friends. If I had sacrificed some of these things to grind more ranked, I believe I would have hit ascendant much faster, but I'm happy with my progress as a player and know that improvement is a slow road. Accepting that results aren't instant and focusing on the process has helped me get to where I am today. I hope this video helped you understand my process and can help you navigate your own journey through ranked. And that's going to be it for this one. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like and let me know in the comments what you'd like to see from me in the future. Subscribe for more videos like this one and check out this one next for more. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.